And welcome back to the second half of the Overdrive Hour. You're watching the Alex Jones Show, and I'm Leanne McAdoo hosting. Joining me now is Jakari Jackson. Jakari, I wanted to get you in here because we have some breaking news. A really disgusting video is making the rounds now on the internet. If you want to check out the article, it's up on Infowars.com. Adon Salazar has wrote it. It's called Caught on Tape. Planned Parenthood doctor admits to selling aborted baby body parts.
It's quite the headline, but it's also quite true. Adon told me about this article a little bit earlier in the day when he was, compiling all of his statements here. And when he first told me about it, even before I saw the video, I just couldn't believe that this was actually happening and true. Because, of course, we know was the abortionist Kermit, he was caught doing all kinds of things. His aides came out and spoke out against those type of incidents. And you'd like to think that this is just a one-off type of deal. But as we see with this article and some of the things we've seen before, it's not the case. These things continue to happen. And as horrific as they are, it sounds like something out of a horror movie. But these are things that are happening right here in the United States of America.
Right, and that's exactly how I felt when I saw this video. It was unbelievable to me, and it did make me tear up. I got a big lump in my stomach. But let me just kind of tell you a little bit about it. It's a hidden camera video. It's coming out of Los Angeles, and it features the senior director of medical services there at Planned Parenthood. So this is not just some rogue Planned Parenthood worker. This is like a top-down directive here. It's Dr. Deborah Nucatola. Might not be saying that right. But anyway, so she is caught on camera discussing the practice of selling these body parts of aborted babies. This is in blatant violation of federal law. And this is part one of a three-part documentary series that's coming from the Center for Medical Progress. So they've got this undercover footage. And here you'll be able to view that video if you go to Infowars.com. Adon has the video embedded in his article. So you can watch that in full there. It's got subtitles as well. But the senior director is explaining to a male and female couple over lunch how the procedure goes down and which human organs are most popular.
And when you watch this video, they explain it so calmly. The senior director does. And it's almost like they're talking about harvesting chickens or cows or something to that regard. Talking about, well, the organs, the liver and the heart and all these other things. It's just so calm, and like she's done it before, and it's a very disturbing, disgusting video.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and play some of that now.
Now a story we guarantee most of you have never heard before. Big money is being made from the sale of fetal body parts.
Even the most ardent pro-choice advocates, like Planned Parenthood
video from 2000, actually, they started the film with it, where they're...
It seems inappropriate, totally inappropriate.
So those are clips from 2000 on the news. And here, this is actually now undercover Planned Parenthood admitting it. So obviously, you might find some of the content disturbing.
Attack parts these days, they're looking for specific nodes. AV nodes, SA. I was like, wow, I didn't even know. Good for them.
Good for
it was
them.
the first time she said people wanted lungs. And then, but like I said, always as many intact livers as possible. People just want
livers.
Some people want lower extremities too.
Lower extremities.
I mean, that's easy. I don't know what they're doing with it. I guess they want muscle.
Yeah, a dime a dozen.
Okay, let's pause that video right there and just... So that's what you were describing, Jakari. So here she's talking about people, they want livers and they want fully intact hearts because they need all the nodes for the hearts. And she's like shoving salad in her mouth and drinking her wine. And it totally reminds me of that scene out of Silence of the Lambs when Dr. Lecter is talking about eating the guy with like fava beans and a Chianti. I mean, that's what that lady reminds me of, just discussing this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite... like I said, disturbing to see such a thing, but that's the temperament of how calmly these people can describe some of these things. And to all these people who say that a aborted or a child in the womb isn't a person, well, you can hear in this clip this woman talking about how you can clearly identify the heart, the liver, the lungs, all these vital body parts, but you can identify that as human body parts, but they want to say that the child is not a human being.
Right, exactly. And this is the big deal with these late-term abortions. I mean, there's like big money for them in this. I mean, here she doesn't really talk about some of those those prices, you know, they might not get that much for it, but the hospitals themselves that are dealing in these transplants and things, they are making hundreds of thousands of dollars off of this. So the video goes on. You hear them talking. We'll go ahead and play it, but they're describing how this is in total violation of federal law. It's against the law here in America to sell human body parts. But then they're kind of discussing how they're getting around that. So go ahead and play that. So the commercial trafficking body parts from an aborted baby, punishable by up to 10 years in prison or a fine of up to $500,000. Now, this is an actual order form where you can order. They're showing an order form. You can say, what type of tissue would you like to order? What's the, you know, what age? And now they're sort of talking about how they go undercover. They're posing as a fetal tissue procurement company. So
I'm the medical director for the national office for all of the affiliates.
So I say, okay, what are you looking to supply today? We've been very good at getting heart, lung, liver.
So in the fact that they're so nonchalant, you can, you basically know that this isn't the first time she's had this conversation with people.
Provider has had patients who want to donate their tissue, and they absolutely want to accommodate them. They just want to do it in a way that is not perceived as this clinic is selling tissue, this clinic is making money off of this.
She's talking about making money.
When you are or the affiliate is determining what that is monetary.
Yes.
So that it doesn't raise any question of this is what it's about. This is the main. What price range would you?
So right now they're explaining the process.
I would say it's probably anywhere from $30 to $100, depending on the facility and what's involved.
The $30 to $100 price, or that's per specimen that we're talking about, right? Yeah.
Yes.
The $30 to $100 price, or that's per specimen that we're talking about, right? Yeah.
Yes.
How much of a difference can that actually make if you know what what's expected or what we need versus?
It makes a huge difference. I'd say a lot of people want liver, and for that reason, most providers would do this case under ultrasound guidance. So
Maybe we can pause it right there and talk about how she has pretty much a hot list. You know, a lot of people want the liver, they want the heart, you know, and what exactly they're going to do with these things, we don't know. But it's, you know, quite disgusting to see them so nonchalantly talk about these things as if, you know, it's just like a part of a chicken or a harvested cow.
Right. And she talks, now she's going to go on to say, you know, how they go about procuring these organs, because here we're talking about a tiny little baby. And so she's talking about the procedure and how they have to use a certain type of forceps method so they can get the heart, the lung, the liver without crushing that part. So they want to be sure they can, you know, get it all out without damaging these
They don't want to damage the tissue of the baby. You know, they're quite adamant about that. They want it in the most pristine condition, so that anybody who would view this and see how they try to profit off of your child, your aborted child. So it's not just, you know, they take it and whatever people think the disposal method for it is. No, they are repurposing your child to sell it to very strange people.
Right. And she's also now talking about how they circumvent that. There's that little gray area where they're like, well, you know, it's against the law to sell mutilated dead baby parts, essentially. And so now she's going to kind of get into say how they get around that. And you know, as long as they didn't intentionally, in quotes. So go ahead and roll.
$100 price, or that's per specimen that we're talking about, right? Yeah.
Yes.
How much of a difference can that actually make if you know what's expected or what we need versus?
It makes a huge difference. I'd say a lot of people want liver, and for that reason, most providers would do this case under ultrasound guidance, so they'll know where they're putting their forceps.
Takes a big gulp of wine.
Procedure is calvarium. Calvarium, the head is basically the biggest part. Most of the other stuff can come out intact.
Right.
It's very rare to have a patient that doesn't have enough
So getting the head is difficult, but
To bring the body cavity out intact and all that.
So then you're just kind of cognizant of where you put your breast bursts. You try to intentionally go above and below the thorax so that, you know, we've been very good at getting heart, lung, liver.
so this is, you know,
So I'm not.
Yeah, she's
She's-
basically giving the play-by-play of how they go
Right.
about
procuring, harvesting. This is not her first rodeo here with this. I mean, this is just disgusting. And the thing that's really shocking is that, you know, most of the time they will save the best for last. And this is the first little clip we're getting out of this upcoming documentary. This is so there's other clips that we don't even know what is about to be hitting.
Yeah, and we've seen things going on in other parts of the world. Like we have this article right here from the Business Insider. A British man was caught trying to smuggle a roasted baby fetus into Thailand. And, you know, that defies words in and of itself. But I think here in the States, we always like to pride ourselves, well, maybe that's happening in the rest of the world, but that can never happen here. It's happening here.
Right.
And it has been happening here because, as you can see, it's, you know, it's like a farmer talking to somebody at the bait shop. You know, they know exactly what they're doing, how they're going about it. And it's very sad to see that this goes on. And kudos to the people that filmed the thing, because I really don't understand how you can sit there with a straight face, but, you know, they did what they had to do to get the video out.
Right, absolutely. And there's another story out of the Daily Mail. Thousands of pills filled with powdered human baby flesh discovered by customs officials in South Korea. So, I mean, this is prize. These organs are like prized. I think people maybe think that these are like the youth elixir or something, that it's going to give them stamina and vigor, or who knows.
There's always those urban legend kind of deals, you know, eat the flesh of the babies and you'll live forever, and all types of bizarre things. And I think it was David who did a report, I'm just going off the top of my head, talking about them using fetuses to, was it heat hospitals?
Yes, that came out last year, that they were using the aborted fetuses to heat hospitals in the UK and Canada, I believe. So yeah, I mean, this is going on. It's disgusting. And here, this lady is so nonchalant describing exactly how this happens. And like we said, you know, this is a senior director of medical services, so she's not just some rogue agent there who's making a little money on the side. This is going on across the country. So no wonder they don't want to take out the partial birth abortions.
Well, the thing that you'll often run into when you talk to somebody about Planned Parenthood and you talk about the abortions, and they say, well, abortions is only a small part of what we do. Well, I'm like, well, when people go out there and rally against you, they're not protesting the fact that you give out free pins and lollipops at the front desk. They're protesting the fact that you have abortions. And now we see what these abortions are turning into. They're turning into a meat market where they are literally selling body parts of dead children.
Right. And then it's like you see stuff like this and you wonder how that the one girl that was saying, you know, she was so proud of herself. Oh, I kill my kids, that we had at that abortion protest. And these are people that are self-proclaimed communists because they want to save the underdog and the underclass. And here it's like, who's the most that needs saving?
That's a very good point, because they always, oftentimes these abortion clinics they'll be located in low-income neighborhoods. They have many minorities who go there and use their facilities, you know, other races as well. But, you know, it's always, you know, we're here to help you. We're here to help you do whatever you have to do. So they'll bring these people in, charge them what's like $300 or something around that price tag to have the baby aborted, but then they'll turn around and sell the aborted fetus for as much as they can get.
Yeah, let's go ahead and play some more of this repugnant clip.
I'm going to crush that part. I'm going to basically crush below, I'm going to crush above, then I'm going to see if I can get it intact. And with the calvarium, in general, some people will actually try to change the presentation so that it's not a vertex. Because when it's a vertex presentation, you never have enough dilation at the beginning unless you have real huge amount of dilation to deliver an intact calvarium. So if you do it starting from the breech presentation, there's dilation that happens as the case goes on, and often at the last you can evacuate an intact calvarium. So, I mean, there are certainly steps that can be taken.
So they can convert to breech, for example, at the start of the...
Yeah, totally dangerous for the mom to have a breech birth. Women can die during childbirth. But here they're talking about how they flip it around so they can pull it out to get that fully intact head, because the calvarium is just so important.
And I definitely encourage everybody who's listening to this to go to Infowars.com and watch these videos for yourself because you can hear it. You know, it's a little distorted, but if you watch the video, you can see it along with the subtitles and see everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So definitely go to that. It says, caught on tape, Planned Parenthood doctor admits to selling aborted baby body parts. And that's on Infowars.com, the article by Adon Salazar.
Yes, be sure to tweet that out, share it on Facebook, because people don't believe this kind of thing is happening. And this is just more fuel when you try to have a conversation with people about this. This is why this is so shocking, so repulsive.
Yeah, because, I mean, people see the stuff that we've put out, you know, like when we had the abortion rally or that lady who was running around the Texas Capitol talking about hell, Satan, and they think it's, you know, we cherry pick that stuff. This stuff happens a lot. And I'm not saying everybody who's pro-abortion is, you know, into selling babies, but it's not a once in a blue moon kind of deal.
Yeah.
You have some very odd characters. The freaks come out at night when you start to talk about abortion, whether it's people who want to sell babies, people who enjoy the act of killing their babies, you know, these people who, you know, love worshiping Satan and they kill babies. It's all type of weird degenerates come out to support abortion.
Right, and even if you're not, you know, you're not for it and you think, oh, well, I'm just going to go have an abortion and this isn't going to happen to me, you don't know what's happening to that fetus that comes out. I mean, you don't know what they're doing, and it's so even if you're not for it, it's happening anyway, and you really have no say in what happens. Mm-hmm. Oh, nor would they even admit it if it's not caught on tape here.
Right, yeah, exactly what you said. If we did not have this clip, you know, that never happened. Like, what's your proof of it? So that's the way they keep going about these things. And, you know, like I said, kudos to the people who shot this video to help explain to people exactly what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, be sure to share this at Infowars.com, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook. We absolutely appreciate all of your support. Thank you for tuning in to the show today for the special hour of Overdrive. I think Alex is going to start having us come on the show regularly in the Overdrive hour to get you all acquainted with us. If you are not a subscriber to Prison Planet, please do. You'll catch our nightly news every night at 7 p.m. Central, live. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you, Leanne. Nightly night, 7 p.m. Central.
For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At InfoWars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. You don't have to be a doctor to know. The fall and winter months are the most dangerous time of year in North America when it comes to you and your family's health. InfoWarsLife.com is very excited to announce our biggest run yet of Silver Bullet colloidal silver, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. Now more than ever, it's important to stock up on high-quality Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com and to help others during Christmas by teaching them about the powerful benefits of silver. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.